evil to persist in society is for men of goodwill to be silent and remain so. The worsening insecurity in Nigeria calls for concern. As such, members of the House of Representatives have expressed concern over the incessant kidnapping in schools and wanton destruction of lives and property across the country since 2014. In their resolution, the lawmakers mandated the House of Representatives Committee on Army, Air Force, Navy and Police Affairs and Defense to interface with security chiefs to identify how best to secure schools and provide lasting solutions to the security challenges facing the country. The House also mandated schools to engage the services of private security outfits to complement efforts of security agencies. Jide, in the North, a lot of, if you look at the school enrollment in the last 5 years, has dropped. If you look at the number of boots we have on ground, security in terms of security, it's going to be difficult. This intervention by the House of Representatives is coming at a very, very good time. From 2014 till now, you can start looking at the number of schools that have been attacked by bandits.
Yes, it all began with Boko Haram kidnapping 276 schoolgirls
in Chibok.
In Chibok. After that, the same Boko Haram went to Dapchi and also kidnapped schoolgirls. We found a way to bring them back. But bandits, who are not even regular terrorists, by the definition of the word, saw an opportunity to make money. They now began to kidnap school children. You see, when they kidnap school children, they get a lot of publicity. It becomes front page news. Government,
and they like being reported.
Government gets involved. And government,
that's the bottom line.
Government will pay ransom. They know that, because by the time they kidnap students, people will start shouting. More regular commuters get kidnapped, people hardly talk about it. It doesn't even become front page news. But when they kidnap students, our blood will boil. People will say, why did we allow this to happen? That is what they are exploiting. So they regularly go after students, knowing that we will find a way to get those students released, either by way of ransom or other means. We usually don't use military campaign to secure the release because of the fear of collateral damage. Once they succeeded in taking them to their base, to their camp, it's a waste of time to try to use military means. Especially on such a huge number, you will kill people. And what this has caused is that more and more parents are not comfortable with allowing their children to go to school. I went to the school in Jengebe in Zamfara State, where schoolgirls were kidnapped. By the time I returned to the place, less than about a year after that operation, the school reopened, but only half of the girls were back in school, despite their release. So this is when we say we want to defeat out of school children syndrome. If we don't keep those schools protected, and we allow these guys to kidnap people, we will not achieve our aim, because a child who has gone through that misery will not feel like going back to school. Look at those FGC girls in Kebbi State. Some of them were married to bandits. They forcibly married them. They got some of them pregnant. By the time they released them, they had kids. So how will parents feel comfortable in an area where we are struggling
to even enroll
to get enrollment figures to go?
Yes, from time.
So this thing, I can understand why the House of Reps are very much concerned, because they know that with the rate, at the rate this thing is going, we will not be able to get more people to show interest in going to school, especially in the educationally disadvantaged part of our country.
So the House of Representatives is showing concern, and when they are showing concern in this phenomenon, it's not been, the school enrollment up north particularly, it's not been encouraging, but the concentration by bandits on those schools is kind of worrisome to parents especially.
Yeah, I think it is so, because our schools have been porous up till now, and our idea of education has been very different. We have a lot of other things that should have been able to put, what is our strategy on ground that's supposed to help us understand how safe a school should be. What we are doing now is fencing of schools. That is the least important thing for any school. The safety of the children, how many security apparatus do we have in place for schools to be safe? What is the early warning sign? What is even the signal for the community to know that there's
going to be an attack?
No, there's going to be an attack. What are the signs that to know that there's this possibility? Sometimes they even give you a warning, and they don't take 1, 2, 3 children. They take a whole lot. We have also at the World Economic Forum a few years ago, I was there, and then they spoke about the Safe Schools Initiative. We thought that by now that should have been something that will snowball into bigger things. But that itself is an initiative on paper. We have monies voted out. We have ideas that will make our schools safe, but they are not implemented. We had school feeding. I mean, at one time in this country, we were feeding students or pupils who were at home, and they were supposed to be in school somehow. What is that? What does that say about us? We had the nomadic education, for instance. It's supposed to be another idea of schools, that you don't have to go to a four-wall of a school. The school can come to meet you. How well have we tried to implement that? So that if the children are not safe in a four-wall, can we move education to them to make them educated in a place that is safe for them? Are we looking at other ways? Must we do things the way we have always done them? Are there newer ways to look at it so that people are safe and still get education? We are doing things as if this is ending. We must emulate the way the world is doing it. Everybody's talking about schools. We didn't start, for instance, the Open University until people, it had become a commonplace in other parts of the world. When we are doing, we should have homegrown solutions to school insecurity. And it doesn't have to mean that children must go to school the way they are doing in other parts. Let's look for other solutions. Bring them away.
I have a caller. Folatoye is calling us from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, Folatoye.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, a quick one. I just want to make a comment about the police issue. Kudos to Nigerian police force. We really appreciate them for what they are doing, and we expect them to do more. Your guest said if they can't work, they should leave.
Please make your comment. Leave my guest alone.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I think if they are complaining about underfunding and they keep going one after the other, who will be left to police Nigeria? Please, we can all do better, and we should support them. Thank you.
Thank you, Fola. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, going like that.
My own feeling is that any place where we are not convinced that we can secure those children, there's no need to open.
Judy, I wanted to bring you back to Chibok.
Yes.
It's not as if they didn't have military guys surrounding that place. But the terrorists...
We made a big mistake then. That thing should not have happened. If we had moved them to the state capital to write their exam.
As at that time.
But we felt that, okay, we had system soldiers guiding the place. Yes. Do you know how many fighters
they overran the place
will bring? They brought fighters in trucks. When Boko Haram is desperate to take a location,
yes,
Boko Haram at the apogee of their strength, when they are desperate to take a location, they will do their recce, they will know the number of soldiers on that location, they will bring 3 times that number.
Yes, they attack super camps.
They will bring 3 times that number. You won't even stay to fight them because they are carrying the same weapons you are carrying, and they have outnumbered you by ratio 3-to-1. And they have RPGs that you don't use in conventional
anti-aircrafts.
You have anti-aircraft guns, AAs. Have you seen where AA struck a human being? When you hear the sound, you won't try to come close. So these are the things we should. After that, there has not been any successful attack on a school in Borno State because they now built mega schools and brought the students in those areas that are not safe to Maiduguri. Monguno, for example, if the garrison town of Monguno, they relocated the federal government girls' school there to the state capital. Nobody has succeeded in attacking any of those schools.
Thank you for joining us, Larry.
Yes, thanks. Yes. Good evening.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ayo. Yeah, please. please, I'd like to contribute to what you are currently, the topic you are currently on. I was fortunate to school in former Gongola. A whole lot of people, a whole lot of children of these days, and they don't know what a state called Gongola State. During the time when I was going to school there, I was happy. We spent up to 16 to 22 hours on the road without any. We are overjoyed all the way from Lagos to this, but none of us
Lagos to Gongola
are even going to again now because of insecurity on the road. I could remember this. Myself, I like adventure. I try all possible ways to travel all the way up to the north. Yes, sir. On July 14, 2020, I was kidnapped on the road when I was coming back from Abuja. Up to now, I still developed phobia on the road. I love road. I love to travel by road. I love to travel. It is something I will commend our Nigerian police. They are doing very well. They are doing a very good job. But please, they should do more.
Thank you, Larry.
Government of the state should please equip these people and even the military.
Okay.
Particularly the military. You see this.
All right, Larry, we have to leave it there. Our time is fast spent. Most times, a thin line distinguishes